Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschen. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We're back live on all channels on Civic Center TV, AT&T Channel 99, and Comcast Channel 15 this week, 9:30 to 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday. As we gear up for the holiday season, we are so excited that you're joining us and giving you all of the exclusive Greater West Bloomfield interviews and stories this week. Today we have some great stories and interviews for you, but before that, we're heading to our nomination form for the Person of the Week. This is an interactive segment that we have added to the Splash Live. This is something that you can scan on your TV and fill out that Google form. If you have someone that you think is making a difference here in the Greater West Bloomfield community, whether they are an educator, a teacher, or a principal, a student in the West Bloomfield community that you think is making a difference, or someone in a local business or organization, those people can be someone that is making an impact charity-wise or is making an impact business-wise in the Greater West Bloomfield community. So it's very easy. Just scan that QR code, fill out a short Google form, and we'll contact that person, make a little video about them, and feature them here on the Splash Live to acknowledge all the great things that they're doing here for our community. We're going to head now into what's going on in the Greater West Bloomfield community, our current events that we have here. So we're going to do some timely ones first. This weekend, happening on Friday and Saturday, is the Lolly Bash. This is for Lolly Ella. They are a jewelry company that started here in Keego Harbor. They are a local business. If you want to shop small this holiday season, they have an event going on at Sage Green Floral Shop in Keego Harbor on Friday, December 17th from 11 to 5, and Saturday, December 18th from 9 to 1. So this is going to be at Sage Green Floral Shop. They rented out a little space there. They're going to have all of their jewelry, some really great pieces if you want to get something for someone special, or if you want to go shop for yourself. They have such great, beautiful jewelry there, and their owners will be there, and we also have one of their owners coming on Thursday to tell us a little bit more about the event. But go and support your local businesses. They will be at the Sage Green Floral Shop right here in Keego Harbor. So they're there for 2 days, so you'll definitely have time if you want to go shopping this weekend. If you can't hit it up after work on Friday, you can definitely go Saturday. So that's the great event that we have here in West Bloomfield, right here in Keego Harbor. Now we're going to head into the Seoul Studios Holiday Market. So this is something that's ongoing until the end of December. So if you are a last-minute shopper like I am, you can go stop by Farber Center Seoul Studio Holiday Market. They have a wide variety of jewelry and art pieces that are made in-house by their local artists that they have there at the Farber Center Seoul Studio. This is something that's ongoing until the end of December. It is right off of Drake Road. So if you want to shop local, again, you can go and pick out a nice personalized gift that they have there. One-of-a-kind gifts if you're looking for something that's a little bit more fun this holiday season, or if you want to get something for yourself, head in there, and then you can also check out their exhibition that they have there, which is the Curating Ties event. That they have there, the local exhibition that they have that is made by a local artist. So if you want to go down and shop, or you can go just check out everything, it's a nice little holiday event that they have going on until the end of December. We're going to head now into the Toys for Tots drive. So this is something that's ongoing up until this weekend. So they're taking donations up until this Friday. You want to make sure that if you're going holiday shopping, or if you've already done your holiday shopping and you want to give back this holiday season, you can go and drop off a donation there, whether that's a toy or a check. If you've already done your holiday shopping and you just want to be able to give a monetary donation, you can make those checks out to the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. This is a great way that you can give back this holiday season to those underprivileged families here in our Greater West Bloomfield community. Obviously, with the COVID-19 pandemic ongoing, people are a little bit more strapped for cash. Maybe someone is unemployed now and can't provide those toys for their loved ones. So if you want to go drop off a donation there, they Fire department will be accepting donations up until December 18th at any of their fire stations during regular business hours, as well as the town hall. So that's another great way to give back this holiday season. And if you have any questions, you can go and call them. They have some great recommendations for toys. So whether that's for a toddler, a teen, you know, an infant, if you are out in the toy aisle and see something that you think a child might like, you can go ahead and give those donations there. It's another great way that if you want to give back this holiday season, something that's so important here in our greater West Bloomfield community, to make sure that we are doing and giving back to those who are in troubled times this holiday season, making sure that everyone can celebrate as they normally do. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to check out our Person of the Week this week. This week, we have highlighted Dillon Tatum for our Person of the Week. He is a senior at West Bloomfield High School, a senior captain on the West Bloomfield Varsity football team, making a huge impact on the team's 10-2 record this season. He'll be early enrolling to Michigan State in January and will be graduating from West Bloomfield High School in December. So after the break, we're going to take a look.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. We're going to take a look at our Person of the Week this week. We're picking a student and athlete. This is senior captain Dillon Tatum. He is a four-star recruit for the West Bloomfield football team. He is making a huge impact on the field and in the classroom as well. He is going to be early enrolling at Michigan State University to play football for them next year, and he will be graduating in December from West Bloomfield High School. So let's take a look at why we named Dillon Tatum our Person of the Week. After an incredible 4 years of football for four-star recruit Dillon Tatum, he has decided to early enroll at Michigan State University starting in January. Recruited to play nickelback for the Spartans, Dillon announced his commitment in October, surrounded by his family and teammates.
Dillon Tatum is one of the most elite players that we've coached here in West Bloomfield. We have put the top 10 players in the state that play for us, give you that top 10. And we also just committed recently to the University of Michigan State University. So I'm proud of that.
This year, Dillon Tatum racked up some memorable stats for the Lakers with 166 carries for 1,174 yards and 23 touchdowns. On the defensive end of the ball, Dillon Tatum had 3 interceptions and 54 tackles. One of those interceptions winning the Lakers the game in overtime against Clarkston. This impressive list of stats, as well as his love for his teammates, is why he was named MVP of the year for the Lakers. Head coach of Lakers football, Tyrese Grice, also shared some nice words to sum up the career that Dillon Tatum had here in West Bloomfield.
I've been knowing Dillon for 4 years now, going on 4 years, even when he was in the youth league. To see him go from Little League to potentially being at the next level is exciting for us, and we're excited for him and happy for his family. You know, we always look at Dillon as a D-back. Some people look at him because he's played so many different positions for us. Dillon's truly a D-back in my eyes. He's been developed at that position. I see him as a nickel, as a corner at the next level. So I think Michigan State's going to get a talented athlete who can play all over the field for them.
Dillon was also one of the captains of the football team this year, leading his team throughout the season with his enthusiasm and love for the game of football. Even when he was out with an ankle injury, you could find Dillon on the sidelines watching and cheering his teammates on to victory. During his time at West Bloomfield High School, Dillon also ran track and field with a few of his football teammates that allowed him to stay in shape during the offseason. As Dillon finishes up the last marking period, he'll be graduating and heading to East Lansing in the new year. His leadership and drive is why Dillon Tatum is our Person of the Week. We're going to take another break, but after we return from the break, we're going to chat with the president of the Keego Harbor Jacket Club, Dennis Kearns. He is making a huge difference here in our West Bloomfield community in the Jacket Club, and also he is reserve officer for the Keego Harbor Police Department. So after the short break, we're going to chat with him.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. We're going to talk now with the president of the Jacket Club of Keego Harbor, Dennis Kearns. He is also a reserve officer for the Keego Harbor Police Department, telling us a little bit about what he's doing this holiday season to make an impact in our greater West Bloomfield community. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Dennis.
No, happy to be here. Thank you.
So let's first talk about the Jacket Club of Keego Harbor. A little bit about what they're doing, what the Jacket Club is, and what they do in Keego Harbor.
The Jacket Club's been in existence for probably better than 55 years, and providing help, assistance for the people that can use it around Christmas time. During the winter, we provide jackets, hats, gloves through the West Bloomfield school system to people in need. It started out back in the 60s at the Wayward Tavern, which was in Keego Harbor. And the guys were in there one night and they heard a crash outside, and they ran outside to find out what happened. Some child tried to cross the street, got hit by a car, and his mother and 4 or 5 other brothers were all out there standing in the freezing cold with no clothes, barely any clothes on. So at that point, they went out and did some shopping for the kids and then started the club, and it's been going on since the early 60s.
And then you guys just had the Holiday Happiness event that you did in Keego Harbor, giving back to those families in Keego Harbor. Can you tell us a little bit about the event, what you guys were doing this weekend, and maybe who you were giving back to?
Yeah, sure. It was a great event this weekend. We had 35 families that the West Bloomfield school system had given us the name and information for. 78 kids. We provided one of our biggest problems this year was trying to fit all the stuff in their cars when they showed up. We had 3 laundry baskets full of food, turkeys, big, huge packages of toilet paper, paper towel, bakery goods, and a bag of gifts for each child. We spent about $40 to $45 on each child. So that was a sizable impact on the community. 15 of the families were from Keego Harbor. The rest were from West Bloomfield. We've been working with the West Bloomfield Optimists for the last 2 years. Chief Flynn from the fire department over there is helping us quite a bit. So it's a really great event. The people were very happy to show up and take part in it.
And you guys are always giving back to the Greater West Bloomfield community with the Jacket Club of Keego Harbor. Are there any other types of events or programs that you guys are running either this holiday season or year-round, especially during the winter season, that you maybe want to highlight?
Well, right now we're doing a fundraiser at Gino's Restaurant. We went out and bought $500 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets, and we're going to auction or raffle those off in two groups of $250 worth. So you get two chances for $10, and we'll be doing that till I think the Super Bowl game. So if anybody wants to come up, they could come up there and make the $10 donation, get their ticket, and that would assist us. We've got a lot of the other businesses in the area are coming by, dropping checks either by the police department or in our post office box. We're at post office box 452 in Keego Harbor. So, we've been doing a wild game dinner for 55 years, once a year, but with COVID and everything, that sort of upset all that. Plus the cost of meat's going through the roof. So we're always looking for new ways to gain revenue, help people out. And if people want to contribute, they can come by the police station, come by Gino's, drop off a check, drop off a $10 bill, whatever, just mark it and carry the Jacket Club, and we'll be happy to make sure it gets spent appropriately.
And Dennis, you are involved with the Jacket Club, obviously volunteering your time there as the president, but you're also involved with the Keego Harbor Fire Department as a reserve officer, volunteering your time there. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with them?
Yeah, I've been with the Keego Harbor Police Department for about 6 years. Originally, I was brought in by Chief Hurst. They had a 1973 cold case they were working on, and they were trying to track witnesses from back in 1973. And, the police department have their way of tracking people, but it is somewhat limited. And my background was I had a private investigation firm in Birmingham for 45 years. So I learned to do it without the police equipment and computers and stuff like that. So it was, they were pretty impressed when I was finding 75, 78-year-old guys that have been missing for 45 years all around the country. So since then, I've been coming in, part-time and helping them out with their any investigative needs they have, tracking people down, tracking witnesses, witness statements, and helping out administratively as well, getting the paperwork ready for the court on a regular basis.
Well, it's so amazing, and thank you so much for your service helping the Greater West Bloomfield community in Keego Harbor.
Thank you very much, Maddie. We really appreciate you profiling our charity. And again, we're just here to help. So nobody gets paid in our organization. So your money goes straight to the children.
Well, thanks so much for joining us this morning, Dennis.
Thank you very much, Maddie.
Once again, I was joined by Dennis Kearns. He is the president of the Jacket Club of Keego Harbor and also reserve officer for the Keego Harbor Police Department. We're now going to take a look at the Killer's Christmas Party. This was a Christmas party happening this past week at the Lodge in Keego Harbor. And this year they raised a record amount of money for local charities. And we're also remembering their friend Tom Kowalski. So let's take a look at what they did this year.
Are you looking for a place to spend your holiday spirit and get some holiday spirits? Well, we know the location just for you. Welcome to The Lodge Bar and Grill, located in Keego Harbor, where they host an annual event called Killer's Christmas. Here at The Splash, we spoke with manager Kelly Albert about this beloved local business.
The Lodge has been in Keego Harbor for almost 17 years. We started out almost 31 years ago down in Sylvan and then moved down to Keego Harbor, and we've been here ever since.
As mentioned before, the Lodge hosts an annual event called Killer's Christmas, which Kelly told us a little bit more about.
Well, Tom started it down at the brew house, and after he passed away, his friends did not want to see the event die with him. So they picked it up, and after the years, charities got added and the event got larger and it grew out of the brew house. So one of the guys on the board actually knew the owner here and asked if we would be interested in hosting the event here.
During our interview, Kelly was able to update us on how the event performed this year and what auction items were seen.
The event went amazing. The turnout was better than we could have anticipated. We sold a lot of sponsorships prior to the event, but the silent auction is always a big draw. They do a killer's cooler, which is literally what it sounds. It's a giant cooler filled with booze. And they sell raffle tickets and auction that off. They do 50-50s throughout the night. I mean, everything in that room is amazing. It's all donated by the Red Wings, by the Tigers, by friends of friends, and it's signed paraphernalia. And Dylan Larkin donated signed gloves, a jersey, and a hockey stick.
We wanted to know how an event such as Killer's Christmas was able to return post-pandemic and how it's going overall.
It was great. Everybody missed it last year. I mean, the chatter started probably back in August asking if we were going to be able to have the event this year. And it's a lot of work, so they didn't want to say yes too soon. So it was October before they decided that they were for sure doing it this year. So it was definitely crunch time to get everything pulled together. But I mean, we did it and it turned out amazing and it was great. And the turnout was huge. It's a fun night, and I'm glad we were able to do it again.
For any holiday sports entertainment, food, drink, and merriment, the Lodge Bar and Grill is the place to be in West Bloomfield. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Calvin Brown.
Such an amazing event there at the Lodge in Keego Harbor, Killer's Christmas. They weren't able to have it last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but this year they broke a record number of dollars raised for those local charities that we have here in Metro Detroit, raising money and also remembering their friend Tom Kowalski. So a great event, and we're so grateful that they're giving back to the community. We're going to put up our QR code once again for our Person of the Week. If you have not nominated anyone yet, this is your time to do it. Going into the new year, we want to make sure that we are highlighting and acknowledging all of those people in the greater West Bloomfield community that are making a difference and doing a good job, making sure that whether it's an educator or a student, making sure that they are getting the correct and the safe knowledge here in our West Bloomfield communities, as well as if you have a organization or person in one of the organizations or businesses here in the greater West Bloomfield community that they are making an impact. We want to nominate, you want to nominate those, fill out the Google form with the QR code here, and then you can also put their contact information in. We will be featuring them on our Person of the Week. We highlighted Dillon Tatum today. He is a stellar athlete and student here at West Bloomfield High School. So if you have someone that is a student that they are part of a charity or organization, we want to be able to highlight them. We're going to take one more look at our current events for the week. Again, these ones that are happening this weekend, the Lolly Bash. This is Lolly Ella. They are a local jewelry business, and they are having an event this week at Sage Green Floral Shop. So they rented out a little space there. They're going to be there Friday and Saturday. So Friday from 11 to 5 and Saturday from 9 to 1. So a couple different time periods that you can go, and if you can't make it on Friday after work, you can definitely head over there Saturday morning. Check out their jewelry and support a local business. Sage Green Floral Shop is located in Keego Harbor, so right down the street from our studios here on Walnut Lake Road. It is going to be a great event, and we will talk to Pam, one of their owners, on Thursday about that event. Another thing happening is their ongoing Farber Center Seoul Studio Holiday Market. So yeah, if you haven't done your holiday shopping yet and you want to support a local business and our local artists, head down there. They have some jewelry, some art pieces, some mittens, and then they also have an opportunity to customize sneakers for you. So this is something that is so important, to be supporting your local artists. All of their products there that they are selling, all the money goes back to the artist that has created that product, and they make them all in-house at the Seoul Studio off of Drake Road there. And then our next ongoing event is the Toys for Tots drive. So this is with the West Bloomfield Fire Department. They are collecting donations up until December 18th. So if you haven't done your holiday shopping yet, you want to make sure that you can go do that. Grab a toy for an infant, toddler, child, or a teenager. Those teenagers are oftentimes the age group that doesn't get a ton of donations. So you want to make sure that you are getting those donations. And if you want to give back to those underprivileged families here in our greater West Bloomfield community, it is something that during the holiday season, you want to show your holiday spirit and give back to our greater West Bloomfield community, especially during the coronavirus pandemic. A lot of families are struggling with money and celebrating the holiday season as they would in the past. And if you don't have a gift or don't have any time to go out and give a gift, you can also give a monetary donation. So you can drop off a check at any of the fire departments or West Bloomfield Town Hall and make those checks out to the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. Any gift, any donation of a check, big or small, is going to make a difference for those families that are struggling to make ends meet this holiday season. So a great way, and we were very grateful for the Marine Corps, the West Bloomfield Fire Department for putting together that drive for the greater West Bloomfield community. Once again, our Purse of the Week this week was Dillon Tatum. He is a senior varsity captain for the West Bloomfield football team. He will be early enrolling at Michigan State University in January. He will be playing nickelback there and will be graduating with a very high GPA this December from West Bloomfield High School. He was one of the senior captains, making a difference last year, but especially this year. He had 23 touchdowns for the West Bloomfield Lakers and also making an impact on the defensive end of the ball as well. He had 3 interceptions this year, and one of those interceptions was in overtime against the Clarkson Wolves, one of their main rivals for the West Bloomfield Lakers. So that interception getting them the win over Clarkson this year. And last year they played Clarkson and went into overtime and unfortunately lost that game. And this year Dillon Tatum decided to take that into his own hands in getting that interception. He is obviously a stellar athlete, but also he is a great leader on the West Bloomfield football team. So as a senior captain, he worked hand in hand with Coach Tyrese Grice, making sure that everyone's voices were heard and also leading that team. He's a great leader. During the awards ceremony, spoke a little bit about Tate Meir, one of the lives lost in Oxford, giving some touching moments there at that awards ceremony. And Coach Grice, you know, he named him the MVP for the West Bloomfield Lakers this year for their 2021 season. A huge honor for a senior captain to be getting the MVP for the West Bloomfield Lakers, meaning that, yes, he made an impact on the field, but also was a leader, making sure that those voices were being heard, making sure that each player, even if they weren't getting a ton of time on the field, was practicing, was top-notch. Dillon is a 4-star recruit and also played track and field, ran track and field at West Bloomfield High School. So making sure that he was staying in shape in the postseason, something that's very difficult for a student athlete, to balance the life of not only having a fall sport, but also running track and field in the spring. So Dillon Tatum was our Person of the Week this week. And if you have someone that you want to nominate for our Person of the Week, you can go ahead and scan that QR code and make sure that those people that you want to nominate for the Person of the Week, we can feature here on the Splash. So if you have an athlete, a student athlete here in the greater West Bloomfield community that you want to highlight, go ahead and scan that QR code, fill out the Google form. Dillon is a great athlete here, but also someone that is giving leadership skills and making an impact out of the field as well. So if you have someone, a student athlete, a teacher, some local businessman or organization, go ahead, scan that QR code. Very easy to do, and we will nominate them here on the Splash. So once again, thank you for joining me this morning on the Splash Live. You can check us anytime on TV. That's going to be on AT&T Channel 99 and Comcast Channel 15. And if you have work in the morning and can't catch us live on TV, you can check us anytime on live at civiccentertv.com on our on-demand section, as well as on our Splash archives. So for any of our friends in Orchard Lake, Sylvan Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Muschin. Thank you for watching the Splash Live.